contamination of groundwater. So the groundwater will be polluted because of the water pollution. It will not be suitable for drinking purpose. So that is how groundwater will be contaminated and it will be full of microorganisms. Then reduced farm output. Because of excessive water pollution, the soil may not get the complete oxygen what it wants. Thereby the yield of the farmers, the yield of that particular field will be reduced. So that is how farm output will be reduced. And then if there is excessive spray of insecticides or pesticides, that will mix with water and may not give a good farm yield. So that is how the reduced farm output is due to the water pollution. Or even if the water with which we are irrigating the fields, that is polluted, then also the farm output will be reduced. Suppose the water with which we are irrigating the field is polluted, then what happens? The organisms living in the soil, their life may get affected. So the earthworms living in the soil, their life may get affected. Thereby the fertility of the soil will reduce and the yield of the farm will be reduced. That is what reduced farm output. Next is low fish output. So if a river water body is polluted due to, if the river water body is polluted due to all the incoming from the industries, power plants, all the incoming waste from these power plants or industries will be released into the water body, right? And then what happens? This will accumulate as a layer over the water and thereby prevents the oxygen from entering into the water. Oil and water does not mix well, right? So if all the pollutants coming from the industries, all the sewage, garbage, if all this forms a layer over the water, then there will be no amount of oxygen inside, and then due to all these pollutants there will be algae growth in the pond, and then these algae take up all the dissolved oxygen in the water, and then the fish will not get the oxygen to survive, and thereby the amount of yield of the fish will decrease, and then fishermen who depend on their income only on fishing, that is traditional method of fishing, will be affected. Farmers who will completely depend on fishing for their source of income, their life will be affected because the output of the fish will be less, the yield of the fish will be decreased in number. So that is how due to water pollution there will be low fish output. Next is waterborne diseases and infections. If the drinking water is contaminated, then we get cholera and typhoid or dysentery or diarrhea. All these are waterborne diseases and they cause stomach infections. Next is hot water from the power plants. If there are any power plants around, then what happens? Hot water will be discharged into the river bodies and then it affects the lives of the plants and animals living in that water body. So this hot water increases the temperature, right? So that is how the life of the organisms, aquatic plants and animals will be affected. These are the effects of water pollution. Next, moving on to how to prevent water pollution. What can we do as an individual? First one is installing sewage treatment plants at strategic locations. So instead of directly disposing the sewage into the water, we have to install few sewage treatment plants. And untreated sewage means here people deposit idols of gods, they defecate in the rivers, they bath in the rivers, they wash clothes in the rivers, they throw flowers in the rivers, dead bodies of animals, half-burnt bodies. All these are untreated sewage and the waste coming from the industries. All this before disposing into the water, it should be treated. So installing sewage treatment plants at specific locations is necessary to prevent water pollution. Next is law enforcement must be strict so that factories should install effluent treatment plants. If the law is strict, if the country's law is strict regarding the waste disposal, then people will be afraid to dispose the waste into the water bodies, and then they will install effluent treatment plants, water treatment plants, sewage treatment plants. They will install. They will be afraid of the law of the government because the punishments will be so strict. So that is how the law should become strict. Next, untreated sewage shouldn't be discharged into the water body like idols of gods, flower remains, dead bodies, half-burnt bodies, no defecation in the rivers. All this should not be done into the water because this causes water pollution. Next is Ganga Action Plan was formulated to clean up Ganges. So Ganga is the very big river, right? So what happened? The government put billions of rupees to clean up this Ganges because the people were leaving all their waste garbage into the Ganges river. The city Kanpur has almost 5,000 industries. So they were plastic industries, they were detergent industries, they were power plants. So all these industries were discharging their waste into the Ganges, and all the untreated sewage was also being discharged into the Ganges. That has led to a great pollution of the Ganges river. So government has formulated a plan and has put billions of rupees for cleaning up of the Ganges river to make the river pollution free. So that is how we can prevent water pollution. Potable water. Water which is suitable for drinking is called potable water. So definition of potable water is water which is suitable for drinking is known as the potable water. So nowadays the quality of drinking water is not good. Many people even die because of polluted drinking water. So we have to ensure that all of them get purified water. So what are the common water purification systems which we can follow? So some of the water purification methods are boiling. This is an easy method, a physical method. We have to boil the water for 15 to 20 minutes until it reaches 100 degrees centigrade till it boils. So boiling the water kills all the germs of the water, all the microorganisms like bacteria and virus. So boiling is one of the easiest method of purification of water. When the water boils at 100 degrees centigrade, it kills all the microorganisms of the water. Next is chlorine tablets. So people mostly in the villages use these tablets because they cannot afford costly and expensive purification methods. So but then chlorine tablets should be used in a minimum and prescribed quantity only. They should not be excessively used. When a chlorine tablet is put in water, it kills all the germs of the water, all the microorganisms of the water. So that is how chlorine tablets do the purification process. It is a cheaper thing and usually followed in villages where people cannot afford costly, expensive water treatment procedures. And chlorine tablets should always be used in prescribed and minimum quantity because excess quantity shouldn't be used. Then next is water filters. So traditionally we had candle filters. In the steel filters inside we had ceramic candles, right? So those help in purification of water. So that was the traditional steel filter inside which had ceramic candles which used to do the filtration process. After that we also have charcoal filters and we also have RO type filters. RO type means reverse osmosis filters, where to the tap directly the filter will be connected. So whatever water comes into the tap will be purified. So nowadays in the market we get many RO filters, and nowadays we also use the commonly used Purid, AquaGuard. Then we have many RO filters also. In Purid we have RO, we have Kent RO. All these follow the reverse osmosis system. Reverse osmosis, what is reverse osmosis? All this you will study in the higher classes. So that is one method by which water will be purified, that is filtration of water. Next is bleaching powder. Same like chlorine tablets. Some minimum amount of little quantity of bleaching powder will be added to the drinking water, which will kill all the germs of the water and make it suitable for drinking. Again, this is not extensively followed. It is only followed in some villages where people cannot afford the costly ones, and it is a cheaper procedure. So these are how few methods by which water can be purified, and we can ensure that everybody gets purified drinking water and their health be safe. Next is what can be done purified to get. Next is what can be done. That means how can we save the water or minimize the use of water and prevent the water pollution. So what we have to follow is 3R principle: reduce, reuse and recycle. Reduce the use of water. Whenever you are brushing, do not keep the tap open continuously. Take a mug of water and brush your teeth. Then when you are bathing, do not switch on the shower. Take a bucket of water and bath. Then reuse. Suppose if you have washed vegetables with the water, then what you can do is that water with which you have washed the vegetables, you can put that water into your garden. You can water the plants with that vegetable water. So that is how you can reuse. Then recycling. Suppose with the water which you have washed the clothes, what you can do, you can make a system such that this water will directly go into your toilet flush tanks. That is how you can recycle the water. So we must always keep in mind the 3R principles and what we can do. So pollution is now not a small phenomenon. It has become a great phenomenon and it is decreasing the quality of our daily life. Air pollution is decreasing the quality of life. Water pollution will lead to diseases. So this pollution is affecting our daily life. So we have to realize our responsibility. So we must realize our responsibility and start using environment friendly processes. We should not throw the polythene covers, all these in the surroundings, into the water. We shouldn't throw the untreated sewage into the water. We have to properly recycle the waste. We have to separate the dry waste, wet waste, and we have to properly dispose the waste also. So all these things, if we start realizing and start following,